Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in this world. I'm DJ Unification, also known as Double Dragon 912, and today, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I am doing my top 10 favorite Super Nintendo beat 'em ups of all time. Wow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when I was looking over my top 10s, I was like, man, how in the world did I skip by Super Nintendo? I was like, man, that's one of my favorite consoles of all time. And I just skipped past the Super Nintendo. I did the Sega Genesis and I did the Nintendo, but I have not done Super Nintendo yet, ladies and gentlemen. If you did not know, Super Nintendo is one of the greatest systems of all time. Man, there were so many beat 'em ups on Super Nintendo. It's kind of like, well, I really got into beat 'em ups. I started on Nintendo, but Super Nintendo just took what Nintendo did and made it even better. If it wasn't broke, it'd try to fix it. Super Nintendo added to it. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for watching my top 10s. I appreciate you guys and girls. Without further ado, let's get into this. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 10 has to be King of Dragons. Wow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, King of Dragons is one of the best beat 'em ups of all time on Super Nintendo. It first came out in the arcade. The arcade version had like 3 or 4 player co-op. This one has 2 player co-op, but to me it looks spot on as the arcade version, ladies and gentlemen. You play as a knight. No, not a knight. Let me rephrase. You play as a fighter, a clergy, elf. I always play with the elf with the bow and arrows, and man, this was tight. And you go through there, good music, clean, beat 'em up fun, and you got to fight a big old huge dragon at the end. And Capcom, ladies and gentlemen. Capcom was bringing out bangers back then, ladies and gentlemen. They still bringing out bangers, but when it came for us beat 'em up fans, man, King of Dragons, where it's at. But without further ado, I'm not going to talk too much about this one because I already talked about it a lot in my videos. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 10 has to be King of Dragons. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 9 has to be Captain Commando. Wow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Captain Commando is one of the best beat 'em ups of all time, ladies and gentlemen. I played the arcade version and I played the Super Nintendo version. The first version I ever beat when I was playing it, I beat the Super Nintendo version, and it was only 2-player co-op. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong down in the comment section, that the arcade version of this game is actually 3 or 4 player co-op. I could be wrong. You had Captain Commando, Mac the Knife, the Baby, and the Ninja. I used to always like to play with the Ninja, and that was my favorite character. And if you did not know, my fighting games fans, this is where Captain Commando came from. He was on Marvel's Capcom 1 and Marvel's Capcom 2, and when he does his team up move, where he threw that little laser down there, all his team come up there and they beat you up, and then they pose on you. And this is the game they came from, ladies and gentlemen. This game, you're playing through it. It's in the far future of Final Fight universe, you know, Metro City, and aliens done came to the earth, and you got to beat them up and take them down. And nothing else can be said about Captain Commando. That's an awesome game on Super Nintendo, ladies and gentlemen. Looks spot on to me. So coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 9 has to be Captain Commando. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 8 has to be Super Double Dragon. Wow, y'all know I had to pick this one. I named Double Dragon 912. Y'all know how it is. One of the best beat 'em ups of all time. Now this one catches a lot of flack. It didn't. I don't think it got the glory that it should have got. Super Double Dragon is Double Dragon at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. One of the best Double Dragon games. Billy and Jimmy. If you got a PC out there, ladies and gentlemen, go play the fan-made game. I forgot the name of the game. I have it going across there because I played it on my channel. They pretty much the fans took together and made Super Double Dragon what it was supposed to be, ladies and gentlemen. They added the cut scenes, added different music to it. Because you play the one on Super Nintendo, you know, the guy that made it on Super Nintendo, he had to leave a lot of it out. But even though he left a lot of it out, it still was a great beat 'em up, ladies and gentlemen. You know, the story is you trying to fight. I think the story is, because it really don't sound that much of a story. You just go through 8 stages, good music, good beat 'em up fun. You can have a little bar up on your power bar and do the spinning kick. And you to charge it up enough, you can do the spinning kick. Then you let it charge up fully. Billy and Jimmy get mad and they be real powerful for a little bit. But this was the game where you could see the difference between Billy and Jimmy. They had different moves, but they look different on Super Double Dragon. But one of the best Double Dragon games I ever played in my life. That's why it makes number 8 on this list, ladies and gentlemen. It's Super Double Dragon, Super Nintendo at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. Check this game out if you can. You can play it on. They got the Double Dragon collection out there now on the Switch, and also you can download it on PS4. You may can get it on Xbox. I can't remember. I know it's on PC. It's a great game to have, ladies and gentlemen. Get this game in your collection. It's worth the money. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 8 has to be Super Double Dragon. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we wind this thing down. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 7 has to be Final Fight 2. Wow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Final Fight 2 took what Final Fight did on Super Nintendo and made it so much better. Because if you didn't know, Super Nintendo, the Final Fight version was one player. Stupidest thing ever that Capcom did. But they made up for it with Final Fight 2. You got your girl Maki Hart. And then you got Carlos with the sword. Then you got your boy Mike Hagar still way over there in France, drop kicking folks and doing a spinning power driver on folks. This is where I think this is where it first came. We got that spinning power driver. And then if you play the first stage, you see Chun-Li in the background. There's a little Easter egg for you. And ladies, if you didn't know Maki, you end up being able to play with her on Capcom vs SNK 2. She bad on there too, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah. Love this game, played through it numerous of times with my brothers, and we had a fun time playing this because it was actually 2-player co-op. Simple, beat 'em up at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. All types of different special moves you can do, and it's just a fun, good time. It ain't even that hard, ladies and gentlemen. You know, Final Fight, the original Final Fight had a little, you know, hardness to it, but this one wasn't really that hard. It's just fun. Fun, 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 bum, bum. See, there I go singing again. But ladies and gentlemen, Final Fight 2 is a great game. I wish they would make a Final Fight collection. I'll definitely go out there and get that. Capcom, y'all need to make that. Final Fight 1, 2, and 3. Put it on a collection for us. Let us buy it. You know, we'll buy that. That's off the chain. I would love that. But coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 7 has to be Final Fight 2. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, down to number 6. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 6 has to be Final Fight 3. Wow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I give Capcom credit. If it wasn't broke, they didn't try to fix it. They added to it. With Final Fight 3, ladies and gentlemen, they took what Final Fight 2 did so good and added part 3. And this time, they brought my boy Guy back. Yes, my boy Guy's in the building. Go ahead, Guy. You got your boy Guy. You got Mike Hagar still spinning power driving, folks. And then you got Lucia, new cop, Hart. And then you got Dean. And each character had their own different stories of why they were fighting the Mad Gear game. Mad Gear game is back, and they trying to re-get themselves together, and got a last boss on there. And then I think you have different endings on this Final Fight 3. And what was so tight about Final Fight 3, ladies and gentlemen, the biggest feature to me was on Final Fight 3 was 2-player co-op, auto. I mean, if you didn't have nobody to play with, and you know your brothers or whoever wasn't playing at the time, you could put on 2-player auto play and the computer play with you. And that was so tight, ladies and gentlemen. That's one of the first games ever I seen where you could do that. I ain't seen it on no other game. The only other game I seen it on was Streets of Rage Remake. Now, Streets of Rage Remake, you can do that same thing. That was a tight feature, but I first saw it on Final Fight 3, and I give Capcom credit. They put a lot into this game. In this game, you also had special moves. Like Guy, he had a little move, you do the motion right, had the lightning fist. Lucille had a move where you just kick and go crazy. You know, Mike Hagar, he's spinning power driving folks. And then, who was it? Dean had that little electricity power driving move like with his hand. That was so tight, ladies and gentlemen. Special moves, just to add on to what worked. Like I said, Capcom got it right. They like, if it wasn't broke, they didn't try to fix it. That's why I make number 6 on this list, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing else can be said about Final Fight 3. It's an amazing game. If you got your Super Nintendo lying around, definitely see if you can pick this one up. Hopefully I ain't going crazy. I know the retro market is out of control. But coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 6 has to be Final Fight 3. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we at the halfway point. Once again, thank you for sticking with me for so long. Let's keep this thing rolling, baby. Ha! Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 5 has to be Knights of the Round. Wow! Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is an awesome game. I played it in the arcade, but I actually played it on Super Nintendo first. Lancelot, that was my boy. King Arthur, and you had Percival. And my favorite character on there was Lancelot. He was a knight, he was fast. And what was so tight about Knights of the Round, if you didn't know already, this game where the more you fight, the more you level up. Like when my boy Lancelot, he get to level 4, he get armor. King Arthur get to level 3, he get armor. Percival, he get to level 3, get armor. Each level had different upgrades, so it has some RPG elements in this game way back on Super Nintendo. And also on the Super Nintendo version, you could block attacks on there. I don't think you could do that in the arcade version, but I know you can do it on the Super Nintendo version. That was the key to it. To beating the game, you had to have the block attack on there. And I beat this game. I had help though, but it was a tough game, man, ladies, because Super Nintendo only give you so many credits. And it was a fun game, man. Me and my brothers back in the day used to play this a lot. I used to always, like I said, boy, I used to always play with Lancelot. I think my younger brother played with King Arthur or Percival, and it was a fun game, man. Fun game, ladies and gentlemen. Based the story about King Arthur and his trying to get his kingdom, you know, and the knights, you know, his whole kingdom. Lancelot and Percival, and it's tight, man. 3 characters, clean, beat them up at his finest. That's why I made number 5 on this list. So coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 5 has to be Knights of the Round. Moving right along, moving right along. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, this is kind of like a late entry, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't really like this game like this until I recently played it not too long ago. It's on my channel, this game is. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 4 has to be River City Girls Zero, but they call it something else in Japan. This never came out in America. First, it came out on the Super Famicom. It's called Sin something. I can't even pronounce that name, but I have it going up across the screen as I'm talking. And you know, if you didn't know, they remade that game, same game, but you know, made it in English. They called it River City Girls Zero. And y'all want to go check that out? I have it up on my channel. I love this game, ladies and gentlemen. Beat 'em up and said it's fine. The same people that helped make Double Dragon, they made this game, man. It's tight. It's about I think the boyfriends, they pretty much in jail. You got to break out of jail and you team up with the girlfriends, which is the River City Girls. That's, you know, y'all see in River City Girls 1 and 2. You team up with them on this game and you go through a whole adventure, ladies and gentlemen. It's fun. It's a fun game, ladies and gentlemen. It's hard now. River City Girls Zero ain't gonna hold your hand. Now with this game, you get to play with the 2 boyfriends and the 2 girls, Masako and I forgot the other girl name. You play with all 4 of them, but I didn't know for the longest when I first played this game. I didn't know you could switch out and play with other characters. I thought you only could play with 1 character and you die, but you don't get any continues on this game. Remember that, you don't get any continues. You die, you just keep starting over and over again, but you don't get any lives either. You just have 1 power bar, but you gotta The thing is, to survive in this game, you gotta switch between characters. You gotta switch between the two boyfriends, and you gotta switch between the two girls. And that's how you survive in this game. That's what makes it so tough, ladies and gentlemen. It's a tough game, I ain't gonna lie to you, but it's fun. It's very satisfying when you beat this game, because I beat it. Y'all can watch it on my channel if you want to. It's fun. It's a fun game. Beat 'em up at its finest. Got all your Double Dragon elements in it. I like, man, that's Double Dragon. You can tell when you play the game. If you're a Double Dragon fan like myself, when you play the game, you're like, yep, that's Double Dragon. There goes the spin kick. There goes to this. There goes to that. You see all of it, ladies and gentlemen, because it's a double. People that made Double Dragon helped make this game. You can definitely tell. But it only, like I said, when it first came out, it only came out in Japan, and just recently we got a great update to it. Shouts out to Way 4 for redoing it and adding a little spice to it. I like it. I like both versions of the game, but this had to make this list, ladies and gentlemen. Great, slept on, beat 'em up. But coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 4 has to be River City Girl Zero. And you know the Japanese name, that's the original name of it. Moving right along. Moving right along. Got him, okay. What? It was tough, y'all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming in at number 3. We're down to the last 3. Once again, thank you for sticking with me for so long. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 3 has to be what we call over here in America, not River City Girls, tripping, Peacekeepers. Wow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, overseas, they call this the Russian Beat series. I think this is Russian Beat Shinru or whatever. But hopefully, I'm hoping and praying to God, Lord willing, we will get Russian Beat X, because they announced it the last year Tokyo Game Show, and I haven't heard nothing from it since then. But I'm hoping we get a sequel to it, because it's supposed to be a sequel coming out to this game. But the Peacekeepers, ladies and gentlemen, what was so tired about the Peacekeepers, you have 4 main characters: Flynn, Echo, Poor Cop, and Al. Them the 3 over here in America. And then you can unlock Orbot and you can unlock Norton. And this is a great game, ladies and gentlemen. Different paths you can go, different endings you can get. A lot of replay value in this game. And I love this game, ladies and gentlemen. I beat this game several times. I remember picking this game up. We used to rent a lot back in the day, but I remember picking the whole game up at Kmart. They had it on sale for like $20. I'm like, man, I had to pick the Peacekeepers. This is a great game, ladies and gentlemen. You will not go wrong with either the Peacekeeper or Russian Beat Shinru, or either one are both great games, ladies and gentlemen. I love Russian Beat Shinru, and then Peacekeepers I don't play. This is the one they call it in America, the Peacekeeper, ladies and gentlemen. Man, they need to make a collection. They have made a collection on this. What's the name of them? Who is that? Retrobit. they made a brawler collection. It got all the Russian beat games on it. But Peacekeepers will always hold a special place in my heart because it's so tight. Because your boy Flynn, he can turn Super Saiyan on here pretty much. It's a special code you put in, and he pretty much turns Super Saiyan. He looks just like a Super Saiyan when you do it. And the whole storyline with this, you trying to take out an evil corporation called DM, and they doing all kind of craziness, and you just got to stop them. And it's real tight, ladies and gentlemen. I love the Peacekeepers. That's why it makes number 3 on the list. So, ladies and gentlemen, coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 3 has to be the Peacekeepers. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're down to the last 2. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 2 has to be Brawl Brothers. Wow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Brawl Brothers, also known as Russian Beat overseas. What was so tight about this game, ladies and gentlemen, what I didn't say on Peacekeepers, you can actually unlock the angry mode on here. And when the anger mode is unlocked on here, when you get angry, you power up pretty much like a Super Saiyan. And when you throw people across the ground, throw people well over your shoulder, do big old long power drivers, and oh man, the anger mode on here is so tight. And what was so tight about Brawl Brothers also, ladies and gentlemen, you didn't know you could put in a code to play the Japanese version of the game. It's basically the same game, just the characters' names should change, but you can actually put in a code to play the Japanese version of the game. I was so tight I had to figure that out a while back when I was playing through it. But ladies and gentlemen, pretty much this game you play with 4 characters, and you're going through this whole thing where this guy, the last boss, he kidnaps your partner, and you got to go through each stage and beat the clone of your partner. Once you beat the clone of your partner, you get your partner back. You're like, thank you for saving me, and you keep going till you get to the last boss. And this is a great game, ladies and gentlemen. I love this one more than Peacekeepers because it was the first one I played, and man, I done beat this game actually by myself. It was hard, but you get you a good player with you, man. This is a fun game. My favorite guy was Hack. He had that little lightning fist move, and then my younger brother, used to play with Kazam. I think his name. He a ninja on there. He was pretty tough. And all the characters are real good. All of them have their different attributes. And it's a fun game, ladies and gentlemen. You would love this. My beat 'em up fans, this is right up your alley. You got a Super Nintendo laying around. You can pick up Brawl Brothers. Hopefully it don't cost that much. If you can't find Brawl Brothers, ladies and gentlemen, just pick up the from Retrobit. It's called the Brawler Pack, something like that. The Brawler Pack, and it's got all 3 of them on there. It's got Rival Turf, Brawl Brothers, Peacekeepers, and Tough Enough. I never did play that back in the day, but that's the fighting game on there. But it's worth the purchase, ladies and gentlemen. You got a Super Nintendo laying around, definitely pick up Brawl Brothers. If you're a beat 'em up fan like myself, it will not do you wrong, ladies and gentlemen. I highly recommend this. That's why I come in number 2 on this list. So coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 2 has to be Brawl Brothers. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are down to the last one. Thank y'all once again for sticking with me for so long. So coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 1 for my top 10 favorite Super Nintendo beat 'em ups of all time is, y'all got to know this, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. Wow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it has been said numerous of times. I watch a lot of YouTubers that, do top 10s. And just talking about games in general, they said that the Super Nintendo version of this game was actually better, in a lot of people's opinion, than the arcade version. I had a chance to play the arcade version thanks to the Cowabunga collection. Shout out to Konami for making that collection. We appreciate y'all. I played the arcade version and I liked it. Don't get me wrong, it's fun. It's 4-player co-op. But it's some slight differences between the arcade version and the Super Nintendo version. The first difference you're going to see is Super Nintendo version is only 2-player co-op. The other difference is, I think what it is, like you be down in the sewers and Shredder just teleport you to another stage and you fight some kind of slime monster, and there's two different type of bosses on there. But on the Super Nintendo version, you actually fight Slash, and Slash was kind of rough. All of them kind of rough, and they gave you different stages, and I got a chance to play both of them, and to me, I still think the Super Nintendo version is better. It looked about the same. Graphics wise, it looked about the same. I remember seeing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4 in an arcade one time. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know they made an arcade version of it, but I've seen it. Never did get to play it to the Cowabunga collection. But man, what more can be said, ladies and gentlemen? This is Turtles. This is what pretty much helped push the Super Nintendo on out there. Don't get me wrong, the one before it, Manhattan Project, was good, but this one just took it to a whole nother level, ladies and gentlemen. You got Leonardo, Michelangelo, Raphael, Donatello, and each one of them have different attributes. Like my boy Donatello, not Donatello, my bad. My boy Michelangelo was slow, but he had the best defense in the game. Raphael was real fast and real offensive, but he had the worst defense in the game. And Leo, he's the balanced character. And I forgot what Donnie's attributes was. But man, each one had their own different special moves, and the graphics was good. And because of the Mode 7 on there, you can throw the Foot Clan into the screen, and wow. Man, Kodama did an excellent job on this game. It was, in my opinion, even better than the arcade. Not just my opinion. You go around on the internet, a lot of people say that the Super Nintendo version was better than the arcade version. In my opinion, it was. I enjoyed it. And what was so tight about this game, if you beat it on normal, you don't get the real ending. In order to get the real ending on this game, you have to beat it on hard. Replay value. There you go. Man, nothing else can be said about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. It's just a great beat 'em up. When you think beat 'em ups, this 9 times out of 10 is probably on everybody's list. Got to be. Unless they living on a rock somewhere and never played it. But this game is amazing. Amazing. If you want to play this game, ladies and gentlemen, get the Cowabunga collection. It came out on PS4, PS5 now, and Switch, and it's on Xbox One, PC. It's everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Get the Cowabunga collection, and you won't go wrong with this, because that's the best way to get it for modern consoles. If you got a Super Nintendo out there, I say try to get it, but telling how high it is with this retro market. It's crazy. But ladies and gentlemen, that about wraps it up for this rendition of my top 10 favorite Super Nintendo games of all time. Leave comments below, ladies and gentlemen, your top 10 favorite Super Nintendo beat-em-ups, of all time. I would really like to know. Thank you guys, girl, once again so much for watching my videos. I appreciate y'all. Stay tuned for more great videos like this on the way. Double Dragon 912 signing out. Peace out.
Alley Cat Blues.